Hey guys, welcome or welcome back. Tisha here, back for another recap of My Five Wives. This is season 2, episode 5, Williams Family Road Trip, Seattle or Bust. Go ahead and do me a favor and hit the like button. We're not going to be here really long because this was a filler episode. It's part of the reason why I'm not on camera. That and because right now I am laid out very, very comfortable. And I want to make sure that I can get this out to you all because I'm kind of going to disappear for a couple of days because of all of the festivities for graduation. So let's begin. So we begin with a family meeting that includes the kids outside with the parents in their backyard, because with 24 kids you got to make sure that you plan things out, right? So Brady lets the kids know that it's time to prepare for their trip to Seattle, Washington. The family is considering moving there because, as they've told us previously, they currently are not accepted in their polygamous community. It is a polygamous community, but they aren't accepted because they don't have the same beliefs as the people that surround them, right? So this trip, I'm thinking, isn't just to visit his parents, but also to scope out the area. But we didn't really see any of that. I feel like they could have did better with this. I I don't know, because anyways, they have not been to Washington as an entire family in 10 years. So since that, they've had kids that have never been to Washington to see the parents. I think Noni said that it's like 4 of them that have never been to the grandparents' home. So everybody's excited. He expects the kids to help out and to do their part by packing their own bags. That way, their mother only has to come behind them and kind of see things and make sure that they're doing it right. I think that's great. They're going to be gone for 9 days. Hearing about the travel time, it seems like a couple of those days is going to be on the road. And they're going to be waking up at 2 a.m. so that they can hit the road. The trip is going to be at least 20 hours. The longest that I've ever been in a vehicle to travel was for Camporee, and it's unless you're at Venice, I don't know if you know it. So they have Pathfinders, right? And they had this annual Camporee. I think they still have it. I think it was like every 5 years or something like that. So a whole bunch of kids from all over the world get together and they camp out for like a week while being able to hang out with other, like-minded youth and all that other stuff. It's a really, really good time. Anyways, so my point is that was a 22-hour ride, but we were on a bus where we got to chill out and hang out and lounge and go to each other's seats and play games and watch whatever movies that they had playing on the TV monitors. Like, we had more space and options, and it was with our friends. I can't begin to imagine what actually having to drive for that amount of time in a caravan would be like, because they're going to be taking 5 minivans and a car, as well as Brady's truck. I believe the car was for his oldest daughter, Carly, because I saw that she was there as well. So once they get there, all the boys are going to be sleeping out in the big teepee, and then they're going to have another one that's a little bit smaller for the girls if they want to be outside as well. The kids like the teepees better because with the teepees you can get to sleep on a mattress, but I don't recall seeing mattresses in there. I know I saw cots, but I don't remember mattresses. But anyways, you get to sleep on a mattress, but with the house, some of them have to sleep on the floor. So we watch all the kids pack, getting their clothes, their sleeping bags, their undergarments, multiple outfits, swimsuits, socks, all the things. That afternoon, Brady and his sons pack the truck so that all they have to do in the morning is hit the road. So the next morning, everybody wakes up. They have a snack bin and a lunch bin. They pray. Brady sends everyone to the bathroom, and then they load up with hopes of getting there between 9 and 10 o'clock that night. Rhonda almost forgets her youngest because she's like, as they're pulling off, oh, Nicholas. So she has to go back. but they do end up hitting the road. So the entire Williams family is now on the road. After 16 hours, we see them go to a general store that has a gas station to use the bathroom. It, of course, only has two bathrooms, which means it's going to take extra time for those kids to use the bathroom. I guess they don't have any rest stops along that route, because I personally would have thought it would be easier to take them to a bigger place so they could all go at once. But I don't know, the stretch of road that they're taking. So maybe this was the most convenient thing that they could find. I did notice though that all the kids handle it well, like they file out and they line up and things of that nature. So the moms do seem to have a handle as well as Brady on the kids. It ends up taking them 21 hours to do the trip. When they get to Brady's parents' house, his father Rod and mother Stella are waiting outside for them, and they are all smiles. They love their grandkids and they love their daughter-in-laws. I'm kind of confused about the situation with his parents, right? Because we were told that he had three wives and one of the wives left, but we only ever see his mom on camera. So it makes me wonder if he's still married to that other wife, or it was a thing where he is married and she just does not want to do the show, because you do have people who don't want to be filmed and things of that nature. So I'm wondering if it's that, or maybe she's at a different home. I don't quite understand their setup, because even with that big house that they have, you see in the episode that Brady is having to climb stairs and stuff like that with his crutches. So I don't quite understand, like, if they're in the barndominium type of situation that Cody was talking about, or maybe the mom lives in the bottom half. I don't know. So Brady did something to his knee during 4th of July, and the long drive has made it way worse. So we see Rhonda saying, like, you need to rest and ice it and wrap it and elevate it or whatever. So she, of course, gets some ice and she wraps his knee up. He's concerned that he's not going to get to enjoy the trip with his knee hurting, but he's going to try to see what he can do. So he says he's just going to go to bed because he's really, really tired. He kisses all the wives goodnight and everybody goes to bed. So it's the next morning. We see Rhonda and Stella catch up on Rhonda's health. Rhonda loves how close they've gotten, because she says that when she married Brady, around that time, Brady and Stella and Rod, Brady's parents, were moving to Washington. As a result, she didn't get to spend as much time with her. But because of her cancer scare and because of the things that, they've discussed in the time that they've put in with one another, she's just really, really appreciating and loving how close they've gotten during that. So Rhonda lets Stella know that at this point, she's going to have to get the testing done every 6 months. And Stella tells her it is important not to put it off, because she did previously. Like, she went a year over her time, and that can make it worse. And Rhonda's like, yeah, that's true. Next thing you know, they're talking about this adoption thing again. I guess that's gonna be Rhonda's storyline, is adoption. Rhonda's is adoption. Noni's is oh, I gotta look at her face. Noni's is baby. Robin's is book. I don't know what Rosemary and Polly's are, but this is what we're getting so far. I'm kind of over the adoption thing because I don't really think it's gonna happen, but who knows? I could be wrong. So Rhonda brings up the adoption thing. Stella feels like if there's a little one who she's supposed to be a mother to, then it will work out. She then brings up polygamy and how beneficial it is to share yourself as a person. They're just happy about how times have changed, because they both grew up with women who had to hide being a polygamist. I think it was Rhonda who talked about how she even remembers her aunt, like, telling somebody to hide their baby and things of that nature as they came into the house, because she didn't want anyone to suspect anything. And I know that that has to, be something that kind of has stuck with them in various ways, because they really do live a life in secrecy. So them being able to come out is an adjustment. Rhonda lets Stella know how grateful she is for her, especially since her mother passed. They tell each other that they love one another, and we see them embrace. We later see Noni and Stella talk about the baby situation. Noni gets a little choked up because you can hear the crack in her voice as she talks about it. She says she's not sure if it's in the cards for them because they've been trying and it hasn't been happening. I feel like she put too much into it. I just feel like sometimes your body just does what your body does. Stella says there are reasons why we do and we don't get pregnant. Babies come their own timing, not ours. It just reminds me, and I think I've said this story before, I'm not sure, but I have a friend that they tried for years to have a baby, and right when she was getting to the point, because her husband had testing done, she had testing done, right where she was getting to the point where she was going to begin to take the shots, they did a test, as you know what they do. She said it was more of like a formality, and she found out she was pregnant. This is after they tried for a long time. So it is true, sometimes it just happens when it's supposed to happen, and you never know why, or what may have caused things. And so she's just trying to give her like a pep talk, not to put so much pressure on herself. She wants her to just chill and kind of let things happen, right? So we see the kids are outside helping their grandpa Rod prepare to get this teepee in the air. It's a lot. We see long behind sticks. We see something that looks like well, the material for the teepee. We see a tractor for them to dig hole. Like, there's a lot going on. So we find out this is a 16 feet, 16 foot, 16 of big feet. And he wants them to make sure that they do a good job as they put this up. To him, the inside of the TP has an oval in it, and there's ribbon in there, excuse me, and it just reminds him of a womb. He says this TP is very spiritual, which is part of the reason why he wants it done correctly. His granddaughter, September, gets on the tractor, and her grandpa is so impressed with the way that she maneuvers it and follows instructions, to the point where he says that she drives the tractor better than her father. It's a bunch of oh and ooh and hold up and do it and get that done and grab that stick and do this, but they get it done. The kids then get to play in paint by putting their hands in paint and then putting it on the TP at the bottom with their names on top of it. He says that his grandkids are his DNA. They're his signature and his story of life. And what he would like to have them do is every year that they come to visit, he wants to see like how much things have changed by having them continuing their handprints. So I think it's cute, but I think it would be a better idea if, as more additions come, like to that kid, that you add their additions to it rather than you just adding the same handprints every single time they come to visit. That's just me though. So we see Brady and his father talk about, whether or not they're going to be moving out there. Brady isn't sure. Right now, everything's up in the air, not just because of money, but because his kids don't want to leave. His kids don't want to change schools. And if you think about it, that's a big jump. It took them 21 hours to get there. So you're flying across the country. The next thing you know, Rod wants to talk to Brady about one of the kids, because one of the kids told him that he needs to watch out for his junk. And he wanted to know what the kid meant. Like, what was a junk? So Brady says, it's your wobbly bits. So he's like, my wobbly bits. So they make different jokes about, what to call down there. And his father says it's the universes and applicators that Brady's mother thinks is quite lovely. And they laugh about it. I said, okay, I see what it is here. His father's very quirky. So as the kids later on sit around the fire, Grandpa Rod is telling them stories about Sasquatch. He's telling them about all the different sightings that they had where they're at, and he's telling them how to howl and how being you need to be nice to Sasquatch. And not all the kids are buying it, but they do enjoy his storytelling. He leads them on a hike to search for Bigfoot, adding, the fun to the visit, and they stand outdoors as they all make these howling sounds and things of that nature. And he's just enjoying himself because his grandkids are a blessing. Even on crutches, we later see Brady as he maneuvers to the different areas where the moms are at to say goodnight, meaning he's having to go up some stairs to even do it. It's Rosemary's night, and as they lay there, she says she's so excited to see how good Brady's mom is doing. That's one of the things that I hate about cancer, because sometimes, in some instances, depending on where it's at, you don't even, like, you don't know, or you don't show the signs of something going wrong until it's further along in its stages. I know I have a cousin that was diagnosed with leukemia a few years ago, and I just saw him today because he's here for the graduation. And in looking at him, you would never know that that's something that he's battling. And that's what I want a lot of us to remember about all types of ailments, and even some disabilities. Like, you just never know what a person is going through when you see them, which is one of the reasons why I like for us to, keep it positive over here, because you don't know what a smile or a how you doing or something like that will do for somebody, depending on what they're going through. So I know I'm on a tangent. It's just something that I thought about as her mom was talking, and as they're talking about the mom, and Rosemary's saying how good she looks. It's like, man, yeah, she looks good, but after all this filming, and at this point we're on episode 5, so there's probably like a couple more episodes left, maybe like 5 or something. I didn't look. And here she is praising her for being 5 years cancer free, and unfortunately the next time she goes back for a checkup, she's going to find out that she has cancer again. I hate it. So we see the boys all getting ready for bed, heading to the TPs to go to sleep. I ain't see, when did y'all take showers? I'm just saying. Yeah, I know you're not gonna show it, but it's just something, y'all all outdoors, and a lot of the kids look like they were in the same stuff. And I don't know. I know it's different when you're roughing it, but I'm just saying. So um, they get in there, and I couldn't help but notice how big the things are. Even with the sleeping bags and stuff, there's still a lot of room. One of the little sisters, Noni's youngest daughter, comes in there and says she's not sleeping in there because she's scared of bears and stuff. She was cute. She was saying a whole bunch of cute things during the episode, like how she was gonna see her mom's, she said my dad's grandparents, and then she was like, my dad's grandma and dad. No, my dad's, like, it was cute. Her trying to get together who she was gonna see. All right, so the family celebrates. We see them do tug of war with the parents against the kids, and the kids win. Then we see them do brothers against sisters. And at first, because grandma's on the sister side, they are winning. And then the grandpa runs over there to the brother side, and they start to win. But at the end of it all, the girls win. Then they eat these birthday shash squash shaped cookie thingies that the grandma made. They then present her with her gift. She gets emotional just at the look at the card and seeing the kid's handwriting in it. And then they tell her, like, look into the thing. And she looks into the bag, and she is presented with her blanket with their healing hands, the kids, and she is speechless. So she sees the card, and she's speechless, and she's choked up, and she loves it. She says she is overwhelmed. She tells them she loves it. She says, I love you guys. It's been a long 5 years, and her biggest fear is that she would have left too soon and she wouldn't get to see her grandkids grow up. Oh, goodness. It broke my heart when she said it, because it just made me feel like I really, really hope that she got the opportunity to see more of her grandkids before she was diagnosed again and before she passed. Stella basically says that regardless of how people view their polygamous family, all she knows is that they have a lot of love within their family. And I can see that. I do see that they have a lot of love. That is all I have for today. As I said, this was very much so filler. Do me a favor, hit the like button. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, peace.